First, I'd like to introduce myself. I'm Coach G. But I remember having that season in my life when I was afraid of the dark, and I probably tried to stall going to bed. Or I probably, when I was younger, I shared a room with a sibling. So I probably would try to see, are you coming to bed now? Right? I would try to create an environment where I was not alone. Um, I might try to get some stuffed animals and put them in the bed with me. But even in those times, very few times where maybe my mom or my dad, my siblings had to say, like, look, G, because my family called me G my whole life. Look, G, it's time to go to bed. And so then I had to go to that room, and the door, very rarely, even in TV shows today, people always want to close the door. Why are they closing the door? They're closing the door because they don't want the light to come in the room, because they want you to now close your eyes and rest. They want you in darkness. It's not to harm you, it's to help you, right? But when you're that kid and you see you behind that cracked door and you're hearing all the laughter and all the joy, and you're basically feeling like you're all alone. There is no one there. Even the stuffed animals among you are not providing you with any comfort. You are aware, clearly aware that you're not in the house by yourself, but there's just something about being that girl in darkness, you know? Forgive me if I get dramatic, but I brought my blanket. So, you're that kid, right? And you in the bed. You in the bed like you're a little nervous. You're scared. You're trying to have this blanket be the comfort that you want to feel. You want it to kind of, wrap you up, make you feel like you're not by yourself. That's that darkness that when the morning comes, like you just force yourself to sleep. Y'all remember that? You be in the bed, you be like, oh my God, can I get to sleep? And then you open your eyes and only 15 minutes pass. Y'all know what I'm talking about? That, if you remember what I'm talking about, put in the chat. Were you like that? It just felt like night would never end. Then I thought about the time, it was in the 70s. And I was like a preteen, I think. And, New York City, 1974 or something. I'm preparing for bed and I'm taking my shower and I'm probably singing in the shower. And all of a sudden, the lights go out. So here I am, stark naked, in the shower, can't see nothing. The only thing for me is that we've lived in this house all the years I remember. So I can feel my way, right? I know if I know where my towel is. I know where my robe is. And I could feel my way to the light switch. And then I try it. Even in the craziness, I know I'm the only one in the bathroom, but I'm going to try the light switch. And I'm going to see if it's on. It's on, but there's no electricity, because it was one of the most dramatic blackouts in New York City history. It was a summer day. And what happens? Everybody comes outside. Now it's like, oh snap, we don't have no lights. Now, all bets are off. All plans are done. So that shower is wrapped up whether I'm done or not. But it was the immediate response of when the lights went out, when the darkness fell in the bathroom. It led me to want to do what? Find the light switch on the wall, check. Now I'm not sure. Now I know dang well them lights were on when I was in the shower. But I'm trying to make sense of how is it that I was just in the light and now like that, it's dark. I'm in total darkness. Now, it also made me think about when I was in college. Can y'all relate to these moments where darkness can come? It could come in a moment. It could come as something you can almost expect. Like as a girl, I know every night I was going to be told it's time to go to bed. But when I'm in college and I'm a math major and I had to take physics, and first time taking physics, didn't take physics in high school, and I'm in this class and I feel almost like from day 4, I had no idea what was going on. The image that I continue to have about this experience is that of an older white gentleman who would come in, very nice. He would greet us. He would kind of remind us what we're going to talk about. And as he wrote on the board, it just felt like his other hand was wiping it off because that's how it felt to me. I didn't know what he was talking about. And when he taught, his back was to us. So because he's in the zone. I don't know if you're one of those teachers that gets in the zone. But he gets in the zone when so he's like, and then it reminds me of like that old actor, Tim Conway. I always had that image, right? Whenever I replay the story in my mind. And as the days and the weeks and the semester progresses, I am in the abyss of darkness. I don't know what he's talking about. And so right now we have students in front of us. I was training my staff the other day about using visual expressions like doodling to help make connections between math concepts um, and images. And so I'm doing this training. I'm actually talking to my leaders. I'm trying to get them to help me, prepare for this training I was going to do with them. And one of my leaders was like, yeah, I see what you're saying. And so she and I are gigging. And the other people were like, I'm not getting it. And I could say, like we do sometimes, I I must be clear because Emma gets it. But as we know, we need more than Emma to get it. We need more of the students to get it. And so as I prepared for that training, I realized there would have been more darkness going on if I proceeded with my original plan, which is why I was kind of workshopping the training with my leaders. And so all of these different examples that I'm giving you of being in darkness is to have us celebrate the fact that Jesus is the light of the world. And he knew it. He had no reservations. Just like he knew in Genesis 1:3, he knew that it was dark and it needed to be light, and so he called it to be. Here in John 8, verse 12, he said, Jesus said, I am the light of the world. Whoever follows me will never walk in darkness, but will have the light of life. So the little girl that would be nervous in her room over time began to say her prayers. And I think many times she started to fall asleep saying her prayers because she went to the light of the world to try to bring her comfort. So then those times I was in the bed like, it became more like, I'm gonna say, whether it's now I lay me down to sleep, I'm gonna say some prayer, some meditation. I'm gonna sing a song. I'm gonna think of a scripture, a Bible story, and then that made it easier for me to just go on and go to sleep because I knew that the light of the world was with me. And I felt the comfort in that. When I was in the shower and I came out and I went feeling on the wall looking for the light. Y'all got that? I have to look for the light. I know where the light is. The light is Jesus. So whether darkness comes because nighttime falls, or whether darkness comes from a sudden passing of a loved one, from the sudden loss of a job, from the sudden breakup of a long-time relationship, from the sudden loss of something that was so treasured to you, whether it's something that's expected darkness or unanticipated immediate darkness, Jesus is the light of the world. And the scripture says, whoever follows me will never walk in darkness. So I'm talking to those who follow Jesus. Following him says, I'm giving my life to you. I'm trusting you. I know you are always with me. And so if you are a follower of Christ, then you never have to walk in darkness. Good morning. You never have to walk in darkness. That's what we celebrate today. That John chapter 8, verse 12 says. Jesus told us he is the light of the world, and whoever follows me will never walk in darkness. So we're the teachers, and the students are following us. Let's be introspective right now and ask ourselves, are we leading them in darkness? Or are we showing God's light, the light that we inherited? You see, there's times where as a student, I felt like I was being sabotaged. Maybe I felt like that because when I tried to seek help, people weren't helping. Maybe I felt like that because there were times when I was blamed for things that I didn't do. Maybe I felt sabotaged because there were recognitions that I might have been overlooked on. And these were adults. I've seen where people, adults, my colleagues, very few times, but a couple times, my friends, said and did things to students that set them up for them to face darkness. If we are followers of Christ, let's not forget that we are to be a light in the school. Jesus is the light in the world. He lives in us. So let's be the light. Let's be the light. Let's be careful of the words we're using with the young people and with one another. Let's be careful. Let's be careful that when we see situations that don't appear to be uplifting, They don't appear to be fair. They don't appear to be sincere and genuine. That we can pray, ask God, how can I help? So let's ask God to help us when we face these situations in the political climate, in the economy, in our communities. Darkness is all around us, and we must cling. That's why I use the word cling to our faith, because we're desperate. These are desperate times. We have to cling to our faith. We can't just walk out willy-nilly. We got to pray before we leave. We got to pray over those desks and over those chairs. I used to pray over that doorway. Whoever's coming through here, you coming in here? We got to all be. So it don't matter to me if you're Catholic and you have rosary beads. If you are Muslim and you follow the Quran, the principles of faith, you to follow them. I'm going to come clean and confess I'm a Christian and I follow the teachings of Jesus Christ. And so we know Genesis 1:3, he said, I keep laughing. It's dark around here. Let there be light. He didn't say it like that. But he said, let there be light. And here in John chapter 8, verse 12, he's saying, I am the light of the world. Because God is the light of the world and we are his, that means we are the light of the world. And in our community, in our miserable teacher community, we are all over the world. We are around the world. Let us cling to that faith that God has given us, the belief in his word. Jesus was aware of who he was. He was bold about it. He said, I am the light of the world. Are y'all bold with yours? Are you bold or are you shaky? The song is Jesus, the light of the world. And the words that I want us to remember, I gotta hit save. The words I want us to remember is where it says, walk in the light, beautiful light. Come where the dewdrops of mercy shine bright. Shine all around us by day and by night. Jesus, the light of the world. So come on, we gotta walk in the light, beautiful light. It's the light. Come with. We don't have to figure out where the light is. Shine all around us by day and by night. Jesus, the light of the world. Like, don't forget whose you are and who he is in your life. Don't let it be that people are shocked to hear that you believe. I'm so glad you're able to be with us, and I pray that you have a great week. So until next time.